How you
if you
doing?
want to have a debate about religion, why you don't host, let's say, for example, scholars or people who have fully knowledge of
Go to the scholars of
their religion?
knowledge. That's actually good advice. If I really want to debate, right, and really get
Yeah.
some good answers and some full answers, then it would make sense that I go to people of knowledge. I actually agree with you. Matter of fact, I want to show you something. I want to just show you just a little bit about me, okay? Because I do believe that you're correct. That if I want to be fair to the religion, I should go to the best people to explain it. All right. And so I just want to show you, okay? I just want to show you something here, man. So this is my YouTube channel. Okay, this is my YouTube channel. All right, this is me, GodLogic Apologetics, 218,000 subscribers. Okay. Now I have a playlist on my channel. If you scroll down on the channel, I have a playlist, GodLogic versus top Muslim debaters. I have an entire playlist of me talking to your best. There's Ali Dawa, there's Sheikh Uthman, there's Hamza from Hamza's Den, there's Mansour from Speaker's Corner, there's Hamza and Rumzi at the same time. This one is Hamza, Rumzi, and the Muslim Cowboy all at the same time, just them versus me. That's Hamza again. There's Rumzi again, Dawa over Dunya. There's Mustafa. He does Dawa in London, and he leads the discussions over there with the London Dawa team. There's Ali Dawa Sheikh right there. Okay. And then also I have another playlist of Sheikh Uthman. All my discussions with Sheikh Uthman, I had plenty of them with Sheikh Uthman, where I buried him as well. So I believe that you're correct, that if I'm fair and really genuine, I should go to the best, right? And ask them these questions or bring these arguments to them and debate with the most knowledgeable. I've done that.
Yes, and for sure they give you a right answer or something like you want to hear. But if you're gonna discuss with the public, let's say, for example, public Muslim, ask them something, you'll ask me about stuff I don't know. Like how can I answer you?
Well, if you're saying they gave me the right answers, let me ask you if you agree with this. Sheikh Uthman, for example, he said when I asked him, why is Jesus the only one who is the Messiah in Islam? He said Jesus is not the only Messiah in Islam. All the prophets in Islam are the Messiahs. What do you agree with him on that?
I don't know.
Oh, come on, brother. What is your
You asking
Quran?
someone from the public, like why you ask?
What is
Like I don't.
your,
You ask people
you're a
in the
Muslim.
public.
You're a Muslim. What does your Quran say?
I am Muslim, but you will only throw suspicions. Let's say, for example, the last hadith you said about the boy that Prophet Muhammad told him that the hour will come in your end of your life or something like that.
Mm.
Yeah, I read the hadith in Arabic. Let's say, for example,
Mm-hmm.
there is a Bedouin guy came to Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. He said, "When is the hour?" He said, "Waylak, like what you did, how you prepared for the hour, the judgment day hour." And he said, "I prepared that I be with the Prophet and God." He said that God will put you with your love. Then there is a boy came from the Ansar. He he
My brother,
he passed next to
come
them.
on, man. Respectfully.
And he said, the prophet said that the end of this day, that when this boy, like in the last days he has,
Are you dragging on purpose?
the judgment hour will be there, right?
And it wasn't there. All right. So that's
No.
not what but that's not what I
It's
hold on,
like that.
hold on. That's not what I asked you. I asked you, do you agree with Uthman that all the prophets in Islam are messiahs?
First, let's answer the suspicious thing that
No,
you just said.
this is the question on point. Then we can get there. Answer this one first.
I don't know. I told you.
Oh, what does your Quran say? You don't know what your Quran says?
I don't know.
Okay, your Quran your Quran says I'll tell you.
Say, but I don't know. Let's say, for example, what the
Oh,
Messiah
okay. So what does the Quran
because
say about the Messiah?
As far I understand, Messiah in the Islam,
Arab leader. According to the Quran, who is the Messiah?
As far I know, that Messiah mean his feet is Masaha. His feet like
yeah. Who?
Jesus. His feet.
There you go.
His feet is mamsuh. Like his feet, there's like no signs in his feet.
Nice.
Or something like that. That's what I understand.
No worries. So according to the Quran, Jesus is the Messiah, correct?
You see, you're asking somebody who doesn't know about stuff he doesn't know.
I'm asking a Muslim about your Quran, bro. Like seriously, this is the most basic thing, and this is one of the most basic things in Islam. Who the Messiah is. If you're struggling to tell me who the Messiah is, then come on, man. Like, what are you doing?
No. I know Jesus. I know how. That's an example how he born. I know his miracles. Like, I know this stuff about Jesus.
Good. So you know Jesus is the Messiah.
Like Messiah, for example.
You know Jesus is the Messiah, correct?
Yes.
Good. So that means that if somebody says that in Islam, someone other than Jesus is the Messiah, they're wrong, right?
I don't know. Ask me about something I know, so I can answer it.
You know what? And
if I say this is the sap. Yes or no, then I'm lying to you.
It's okay.
Do you like liars?
I understand. You're saying that you don't know about this, and so this is my point, man. Sheikh Uthman said that there are multiple messiahs. The Quran says that. Hold on, you're cutting me off. Don't cut me off. Don't cut me off. The Quran says that Jesus is the Messiah. Your hadith say that Jesus is the Messiah, nobody else. And Sheikh Uthman lied. He lied about it and he got caught.
It's your opinion. He said he's lie. If I ask you, you say you lie. You understand me? I can only see the video and see this interview between the debate between you and him, and then I judge.
That's what you should do. You should check out my video. I have the full discussion there. Check out my videos with Uthman and watch him lie. He gets caught right on screen, 4K.
For him, he will say the same thing. He will say you lie.
Well, you'll see who brings the evidence of the liar and who doesn't.
I will see. I will see, and I will judge my own self. You know.
Yep.
But let me ask you the question about the boy thing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There is another hadith. There is a Bedouin. He was coming to Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. He was looking to the youngest one of them, and he was telling them, when this boy live until he become very old, then your judgment day will be. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep.
And in the Quran, is mentioned that only God knows the hour. Okay. يسألونك عن الساعة أيان مرساها. You understand? It means that then it continues that only God knows the hour. So the thing is, the point is, when this boy become very old, then for sure that you will be dead. So it's mean when you be dead, then it's your hour.
That's not what it says. It says the last hour would come.
Yeah, when this boy become old, then these people for sure they will die, right?
No, it says that the last hour will come. And he will say, if this young boy lives, he may not grow very old until the last hour comes to you. So you'll see the last hour coming.
So here's the point. Even in other hadith, he looked to the youngest person.
What is the last hour?
Nobody know.
What is it? What is the last hour?
the last hour is the judgment day.
Okay, so Muhammad says that the last hour, Judgment Day, is going to come in the lifetime of that young boy, right?
When this boy become very old, he say, right?
Right, so it'll be in that boy's lifetime, right?
No. He say when this boy become very old, your judgment day will be.
No, he doesn't say your Judgment Day will be. He says the last hour, you'll see the last hour coming to you.
You will see the last hour. It's like when I'm telling you, when you have a young kids in your arm, I say when this boy become very old, then your last hour will come. It means when this boy become very old, you of course will not be alive. There's a lot of difference in the age. In another hadith, by Aisha
Please,
radiallahu
please,
anha said,
because
he used to look to the
I
youngest
have to stop
person.
you. I have to stop you. I have to stop you because, and I don't want to be rude at all. I don't want to be rude at all to you, man. But we're not going to be able to move forward with this type of lack of reading comprehension, man. I'm serious.
No. It's very clear. And the
Oh, is
Quran
it?
even is mentioned that
I'm gonna read it again. I'm gonna read it again. When will the last hour come? That's Judgment Day, right?
All right.
So it's not when they die. They're not asking when will we die. They're asking about Judgment Day, right?
Yeah. When this kid becomes very old,
so then
your
he tells
judgment
them.
day.
He tells them when Judgment Day, when the last hour, not their Judgment Day, not when they die. They asked about the last hour. He tells them the last hour will come in the lifetime of the young boy. It didn't come.
He doesn't say in the lifetime of this boy.
All right, hey, thanks for coming, man. Thank you.
No. Say it.
Thank you. Thanks for coming. This is Islam. This is Islam, ladies and gentlemen. If you're ever thinking about joining Islam, this is what you become. You become someone, you lose all sense of reading comprehension. You have to become a blatant liar on the text. You have to lie. And you have to put a bandage over your religion. Because your religion is so obviously false, you have to lie about it. You have to try to put a band-aid on it. You have to try to fix it. Allah and Muhammad really put you guys in a very, very tough position. My goodness, man. Oh, it's talking about when they die. He's talking about when they die. So what they want us to do is they want us to say that Muhammad committed the first Muslim shuffle ever. They asked Muhammad about the last hour, about Judgment Day. Muhammad answers them by telling them how they will die. They didn't ask that. So the Muslims want us to believe that Muhammad committed the first Muslim shuffle ever. Matter of fact, that's actually somebody's argument, by the way. I'm pretty sure we'll see this. That's somebody's argument. Anas reported that a person asked Allah's messenger as to when the last hour would come. And the Muslims are telling us, well, he just told them about when he answered, he told them about when they'll die. Muhammad committed the first Muslim shuffle. It makes sense. You know what? I can't even say that they're totally wrong about this now. It makes sense where they get it from. When they do the Muslim shuffle, it starts with who they follow. It starts with Muhammad. Muhammad did the Muslim shuffle way back then. No worry. No, now it makes sense. Now it makes sense. Look here. Let's see another one. Let's read B. Sahih Muslim 2953B. Anas reported that a person asked Allah's apostle, when would the last hour come? What are they asking about? When they will die? They're asking about Judgment Day. Huh? Right? Right. When will the last hour come? Thereupon Allah's messenger kept quiet for a while. He didn't know how to answer first. He didn't know how to answer that. Then looked at a young boy in his presence. See, Muhammad's improving here. Muhammad is, I see why Muslims are so good at just making stuff up on the spot. They get it from Muhammad. They get it from Muhammad. Muhammad made this up on the spot. He was quiet for a while after they asked him. They looked around and saw a young boy. Said, there it is. Looked at a young boy in his presence belonging to the tribe of Shanua. And he said, if this boy lives, he would not grow very old till the last hour would come to you. Anas said that this young boy was our age during those days. So during those days, he was about Anas's age, and now he's as old as Anas. His lifetime. He's going to grow old, and then they'll see the last hour coming. Did it come? Wait, Muhammad's actually talking about when they die. There's actually somebody that said that. I think it's around here. Here it is. No. This isn't the one. Is it this one? I could have sworn I seen a hadith that puts that in the parentheses or something like that. That somebody said it means talking about their death. Any way to fix this? Amazing. All right, let's bring up our next guest as we're finished looking at that. Rush says with a super chat, thank you so much. God bless you. Says, blessings, Avery. I'm afraid I'm faltering with today's guest. I pray that neither you, chat, or I will be overcome by the specter of more prophet than Muhammad, Sam Shimon, peace be upon him, and that his prophecy may not yet come to pass. Now, you're right. We're going to prove that Sam Shimon's a false prophet. Yes, he is right. That in doing this for a long time, your patience with these people will thin. But I will not be cussing them out and stuff like that. Won't be happening. I'm still going to be a cool, smooth old man by that time comes. Less patient, but still smooth. I mean, look at Sam's debate with Khalil. Didn't he look like I was rubbing off on him? He was so smooth. He was respectable. He was polite. You know what I'm saying? That's because I am rubbing off on Sam. Okay. Go and tell him that. I'm rubbing off on Sam. Okay. Look at the evidence, guys. Look at what the evidence is showing. What do you see? Someone said, say no, Diddy. Pastor Logic, what's up, man? Your background's a little loud.
I'm all right, man. How are you?
Are you at work? Can you get to somewhere quieter?
Wait, I'm in quiet area. I'm in my room.
So what is that noise? Is that a fan or something?
Oh, yeah, that's the fan in the laptop, yeah.
You mind turning that off just for the sake of the live?
You can't really turn it off. It's in the laptop.
It's in a what?
It's in the laptop. It's built inside.
Oh, so the laptop's making that noise.
Yeah.
All right, let me see what the audience. Audience, is the noise bothersome? Or are you guys okay? Can we hear him good?
Can you see me?
I don't know if that buzz is gonna be able to cool. Now that buzz is too loud for me, man. It's
Too loud for you?
Yeah.
Alright, man.
For them, it's good. Hold on. Let me take my headphones off. Let's see how it sounds.
Still loud?
Oh yeah, guys, I can't do the buzzing. I'm sorry. Y'all may be able to do it. I can't do the buzzing.
Alright, man. I'll speak to you then.
Can you join on your phone?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, try to join on your phone.
Okay, let me leave then.
All right. Man, I must got some sensitive ears, man. I can't do it. Waleed, how you doing? Waleed, you're on stage. How are you?
Run it down my vagina.
That's what I thought. There you go. Lees, how you doing? Lees. Is it Lays or Lees? Leyz. You're on stage. Lays, you're on the stage. Going once, going twice. Going. All right, guys, if you guys are watching on TikTok as well, Muslims, you're welcome to hit the link. Preferably Muslims that don't waste my time. So if you know that you waste my time, amen, I'm not going to bring you up. Please don't even bother requesting. When you are known to be a waste of time, that's part of your character. All right. So go ahead and drop. Come up and tell me why you guys dislike Paul. All right. Sorry. Ladies, I can hear all your kids in the background. All right. Just going to go ahead and ban that person. Let's see here. Guys, you have the golden opportunity, man. This should be easy. You have a golden opportunity to prove that Muhammad is more reliable than Paul. You will get a shahada today. Matter of fact, you'll get plenty. I'm pretty sure there are quite a few people that are with me. If the Muslims can prove to us that Muhammad is more reliable than Paul, you got us. You'll get a shahada out of me. Avery, you're turning into Sam complaining about the sound. Nah, man, I can't stand unnecessary loudness. Welcome back, Pastor Logic. You're on the stage, man. You're on the stage. Pastor Logic, you're on the stage, man. I got to turn your... There you go. Connecting your sound.
Yeah, for some reason my mic's not working on the phone, but I hope you can hear me.
I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Awesome.
Yeah, anyway. You know the hadith you were showing about the kid not growing as well before the outcome?
That's a secondary issue. The first issue is why
What's the premise?
why don't you like Paul? Can you prove that Paul is less reliable than Muhammad? What makes Paul not reliable to you?
What makes Paul not reliable to me is the fact that he has adopted the corrupted Bible.
He adopted the corrupted Bible.
Yeah. So the Bible, I'm sure Paul affirms the Bible. He agrees with all the four Gospels. Matter of
Yeah,
fact, he's even made his own writings, the writings of Paul, and that's part of the New Testament, isn't it?
you're talking too fast for me.
Oh, sorry. So I was gonna say, so Paul has something called the writings of Paul that's embedded in the New Testament.
The writings of Paul are embedded in the New Testament. It's not called the writings of Paul. That's just what they are. But go ahead.
Wait, so you're telling me Paul didn't write them?
No, yeah, Paul wrote them. You said that they're called that, like that's their name or something. Like
Oh,
there's
no,
a
no, of course. No, of
Okay.
course they're called Corinthians and those kind of stuff. The other
Okay.
books.
All
Yeah,
right.
so that's my main problem with Paul.
Is
He's
that
part of
he accepted the Gospels,
yeah, there you go.
the Gospel accounts?
Yeah, the gospel account. Whereas Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam,
Mhm.
I have adopted his belief because I believe he actually received divine revelation, the words of God, not the writings attributed to God, and that was preserved authentically, which is still present with today. That's why I take Muhammad as a messenger of God.
You know what you just
And
did?
yeah,
You just entered our favorite segment. You know that what that is?
let me guess. Paul.
Welcome back to another segment of What is the Injil, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Chef Logic, Avery Austin. And today we have Pastor Logic on the stage. Say what's up to the audience, Pastor Logic.
What's up, guys? I'm back again.
All right. So Pastor Logic says that Paul is unreliable because he accepted the writings of the gospel from Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, which Muhammad did not accept. So he's saying that that's not the authentic Injil. So this means that he knows what the authentic Injil is and can tell us what it is. So tell us, Pastor Logic, what is the Injil?
Avery, yeah, before we move on to this, can I just quickly touch on that hadith you were bringing up?
No, this is it. This is what you ran into. This is the reason why you said Paul is not reliable. So this is the subject here.
Oh, wait, so you're saying it's irrelevant to do that 1 minute of hadith you pulled up earlier?
Absolutely, it's irrelevant right now. Well, I promise you,
you.
Pastor Logic, I promise you, you have my word. I will let you get to that once we finish our topic. I promise.
Okay. So we're gonna talk about your favorite topic. What is the
what
Injil?
what is the Injil then?
Amazing. As I'm sure you're familiar with chapter 5, we are clearly told what the Injil is. So the Injil is similar to the Quran. It is one of the 4 books divinely revealed by Allah that was given to Jesus. And notice keywords. It was given to Jesus. It was not attributed to Jesus by later authors writing a biography of him. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
What was that?
Amazing. So at least would you agree with that part? We are saying that this.
I know what you're saying. I'm asking, what was that? What was that Injil that was given to Jesus? What was that book?
So what was revealed to Jesus was whatever words he was given. It wasn't like, I think we must understand each other. It wasn't a physical book that was sent from the sky.
Okay.
It wasn't a physical book. Yeah. It wasn't like it wasn't like the new Bible. It wasn't the Quran, the physical copies we have today. These are printed editions. Yeah. So it wasn't in that form. It was revealed in the form of words, just like Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam received it. Yes.
Got it. So what you're saying is that this was an oral revelation that Jesus went around preaching.
Yes, of course. That's my position.
If
I'm correct, I stand to be corrected by the community. Yeah.
No. I think that's the general view. So, okay, I hear what you're saying. So the Injil is an oral revelation that Jesus is going around preaching. Still don't know what that is just yet, but let me just probably help us out by asking another question. Was it written?
Was it written?
Mm-hmm.
Now the history of Jesus is unclear to us because, as you know, we don't have a lot of documents.
That's not what I
What
asked.
the only thing we can ascribe to Jesus of the gospel is what the Quran confirms. So
No worries. Was the Injil written? That's all I asked, brother.
Wait, say it again. What's your question?
Was the Injil written?
Written. So are you saying was the Injil written by Jesus, or what are you saying?
I'm just saying, asking, was it written at all?
Was it written at all?
Yes.
I have no problem with the stance that it was written. Yeah, I have no problem with that.
Okay, got it. So the Quran was written by who? I'm sorry, the Injil was written by who?
Okay, now here's where my knowledge gap stops. I don't know if Jesus himself wrote it, but I am assuming just like the prophet had companions, his disciples went on and wrote it as well.
Nice. Okay, I got you. So his disciples wrote the Injil, the gospel that Jesus was orally preaching. His disciples wrote it down. Nice. So my question now is ultimately, I guess we got here, because it sounds like you believe exactly what I believe. I believe that Jesus was going around orally preaching the gospel, and his disciples ended up writing down what he preached. So my question to you is then, my question to you is, how do you know that Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John didn't write the Injil?
Amazing. Now, I think, do you know how sometimes the Muslims come in and tell you that Jesus is a Muslim, and then you get agitated by that, and then you allow them, you basically make them disprove it by asking them questions?
I guess that's my tactic. Yeah.
That's it. I'm going to use the exact tactic. Now, I think, despite you asking that question, I think you know yourself that the Gospel of Matthew, Mark, Luke, John are actually they're actually not the Injil, because the authors are anonymous. Would you agree with that?
I don't, but let me go with you. Let me go with you, okay? Let me grant that they're anonymous. So when you say anonymous means we don't know who wrote them.
We don't know who wrote it. Matter of fact, the names we're giving them, I don't even know. I don't even understand why we're giving them since they're anonymous.
Okay, I got you. Wait, stop there because that's important.
Yeah.
So then, who are the writers of the Injil?
The Injil or the New Testament?
The Injil. Who are the writers of the Injil?
Earlier, we agreed that the disciples of Jesus must have written down the Injil.
Who are they?
The disciples of Jesus.
I'll ask it again. Who are they?
Who are they? They are those who he preached to.
Who are they? Who
are they? Like, you want me to name disciples?
Yes.
Look, if I start naming them and I start calling them John, Peter, Andrew, you're gonna ask me where did I get them from, and then you're gonna say, "Oh, you got it from the New Testament."
So you see the problem. So what's the answer?
Okay. So now, since I don't want to dig myself that hole, this is my answer. I don't know the names of the disciples of Jesus.
Nice. So instead of being honest, wait. So instead of being honest and actually naming the actual disciples of Jesus, because you know where that will go, you would rather say that you don't know, which is okay. So you don't know who the authors of the Injil are. So then,
one thing, Avery. Yeah.
So then, then that means that the authors of the Injil are anonymous, correct?
Yes. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
So
one thing.
This is what we have so far. This is what we have so far.
The gospel. One thing. I just
go ahead.
Wait. Yeah. You said I was being dishonest. I'm actually not being dishonest. I believe if I was to take these names that you believe in, Andrew, Peter, John, and Thomas, I feel like I would be dishonest then because I don't believe them.
Oh, no worries. I take that back then. If you don't believe that those are the disciples, then then that was it. That was irrelevant for you to bring up then. Like seriously.
Yeah.
Okay. But no worries. So we're dealing with where we're at. So this is where we're at.
Yeah.
The gospel was something that Jesus was going around preaching orally.
Yes.
His disciples, which is what Christians believe, the disciples were the ones who wrote down what he preached, is what Christians believe.
Yep.
Now, you said that these authors, these disciples, these authors who wrote down the gospel are anonymous, which is how you know that Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John didn't write the New Testament, but the Injil has anonymous authors. So it sounds like everything that you said matches what you believe about the New Testament. So again, I ask, how do you know that Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John didn't write the Injil if you're saying it's anonymous?
Amazing, amazing. All right, Avery. We both agreed that both the New Testament and the Injil are anonymously authored. Do we agree that? Do we agree on that part?
I don't agree with that. This is you, but this is your position.
You're granting it to me.
This is your position. So how do you know that Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John didn't write the Injil?
Amazing. Now, I think you might have forgotten earlier that I told you who the real author of the Injil is. I told you it was the divine, revealed words of God given to Jesus.
Yeah, but you said you don't know who wrote it. That's what we're talking about.
I just told you, Avery, who wrote. It was revealed from God.
All right, so I'll ask it again.
Yeah, go ahead.
Are you saying that Allah wrote the Injil, or are you saying that He just revealed it?
I do not believe a book was sent like a physical book. I believe.
Okay, so we don't need to go back to square one. We already know that you believe that it was revealed orally and eventually by His disciples got written down, but you don't know who they are. So we're here at this question. Let's not backtrack. Let's stay right here.
Okay. So your question
How
is,
do you know that Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John did not write the Injil when you don't know who wrote it?
Amazing. How do I know that the current present books, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, despite me not knowing the authors of the Injil, how do I know that this is not the Injil? Okay.
My question was, how do you know that Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John did not write the Injil? Please answer that directly. Let's not play games.
Stop
stalling.
Answer directly. Because I don't know who John, Mark, Matthew, or Luke are. I don't know who they are.
No worries. So how do you know that they didn't write the Injil? You can't. So this is where we're at. You don't know who Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John are, but you don't know if Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John wrote the Injil or not, right?
Okay, I can agree with that as well, yeah.
Okay, so then that means you have no grounds to reject that they wrote the Injil. You can't reject it. You don't know.
So, yes, I have no problem in your position where me not knowing who Matthew, Mark, Luke, John are, me not knowing if they wrote the Injil. So, yeah, I won't be able today to reject the fact that those 4 individuals copied down what Jesus was preaching.
So then that means that you cannot reject the New Testament writing as the Injil, right? By Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, at least. When they write down, when they record Jesus's words, you can't reject that as the Injil, right?
Okay, now here's where we have another problem now. Now, I read the books, the Gospels of Mark, Matthew, Luke, John, and I see clearly that these are authored in a style where it is describing the biography of Jesus. It doesn't sound like the Quran, where God is speaking to the people. You see what I mean?
Question. How do you know that the written Injil was not in a biographical format?
Okay, to me, it does not make sense that God would reveal words to Jesus describing his biography to him. That's why I disagree with it.
Could God reveal to Jesus information in a biographical format?
Could you give me an example?
That's the question. Could God reveal revelation in a biographical format?
Can God reveal to Jesus something that's describing his life.
Yes.
I believe God is capable, but I do not believe that's what God revealed to Jesus. That's my
No
answer.
worries. I understand. You don't believe that that was the case. However, it's possible, right?
Okay, yeah, we'll go with possibility,
Okay.
yes.
So the New Testament being written in biographical format does not eliminate it from being revelation, nor does it eliminate it from it being the Injil.
No. Since my criteria is that God did not reveal a biographical Bible to Jesus,
That's
then if
not
the
your criteria. How
present,
do you know? That's my question. How do you know that?
I just told you I reject it. And how
Yeah.
do I know that? Okay,
Yeah.
you're asking me, how do I reject this? Okay, here. Because since I am a Muslim, the Quran tells me what are the contents of the Injil. It tells
Good.
me.
So
Amazing.
show me in the Quran where it tells you what style the Injil was revealed in or what style it was written in. Go ahead.
Okay, like you've read it many times in Surah 5, it tells me that Allah is speaking to Muhammad. He says, well, tell the people of the book to judge by what's in the gospel and Torah. And then later through the verses, he is told, but take the Quran as a supreme authority. And
No,
I
he doesn't
learned.
say that. He doesn't say that. However, again, let me even grant this to you. Let me grant you that the Quran is your supreme authority. Here's my question again. Using your supreme authority, where in the Quran does it tell you what style the Injil was revealed in or what style the Injil was written in? Where does the Quran give you that information?
Yeah, the Quran does not tell me what style the Injil was written in.
So then, how do you know? This is back to my question. How do you know that it wasn't revealed in or written in biographical format? How do you know that that wasn't the case?
Okay, so you're saying since the Quran does not tell me in what style the Injil was revealed in, how do I know that the Injil was not revealed in a biographical format?
Mhm.
Because since I'm using the Quran as a supreme authority, whatever agrees with the Quran, I can take it to be the words of the Injil. And
No
if the
worries,
Quran,
my friend. That's not again. You're not
I'm
answering the question.
answering. Come on, I'm answering. So I'm saying, if I'm going to use the Quran as a supreme authority, then if the contents of the Quran are not biographical, then I can rule out the fact that the Bible is not biographical. Sorry, the Injil.
Time out. Where does the Quran say that the Injil was revealed the same way the Quran was?
No, it tells me, the Quran tells me that the Injil was the words of God, just like the Quran, the Torah, the
It
Zabur,
doesn't
and the
say
Injil.
just like the Quran. Where show me where it says that the Injil are the words of God, just like the Quran. Where does it say that?
Okay. As you obviously know, I didn't memorize the Quran, so I can't give you a
I,
pinpoint
I
exactly.
I do. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. That's
Okay,
why I'm asking you these questions because they don't
let
exist.
me grant this to you. I'll grant this to you. Perhaps there is no verse saying that all scriptures are exactly the same, or they are
Mhm.
written in the same style. Okay,
Right.
I'll grant. Okay,
So
but
again, we're left with the possibility that the Injil could have been revealed in or written in biographical format. Correct?
okay, so you're not asking me whether I believe it was. Are you saying is it a possibility?
Correct.
Okay, yeah. Then as much as I hate I'm doing this, but fine. It might have been a possibility.
Okay, it's okay, man. Look, there is no loser when there's honesty. You don't lose when you're honest. You actually win, bro. Okay.
Okay,
So I know that this is like, as I'm challenging you and stuff like that. But as you're honest, I'm telling you, you're not losing. You're winning. You're winning
but
as an honest person. Trust me.
here's why I think I'm losing. Because since I lack in knowledge compared to you, I'm thinking to myself, well, maybe I'm agreeing with you in the fact that I don't know what I'm talking about, and perhaps the little more that you know than me, perhaps you're using that. I just lost my argument, but perhaps you
I'm
know
not.
more than what I'm
I'm
agreeing with
not
you.
I'm not taking advantage of you, brother. What I'm doing is I'm taking advantage of a bad argument. That's all. You're not this doesn't start with you. I didn't do this to you're not the first one. I've done this to your best. I've done this to Muslim Cowboy, Dawa Overdunya, Hamza at Hamza's Den, all three of them at the same time. I had this very conversation with them, gave them these same questions. They got stuck the same way.
Telling
So,
me they
but
couldn't answer.
instead, you, the difference with you and them is that you're more honest with this. They were stumbling and stuttering because they were lying and getting stuck and embarrassed. You're being more honest with your answers, so it's not bad. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to encourage you that like that. It's you're not looking bad, bro. Okay.
Oh, yeah. One more thing, Avery. If you are looking for real answers, you do understand that you're not gonna find any better answers than you received from the quote unquote top debaters in here, right?
I know.
So
I know.
I have a plan for you.
I already did it. Did you not just hear what I just said?
Okay, so here's my invitation to you. Have you heard of a speaker named Muhammad Hijab?
Yes, he lives in London. I'm in America.
You're in America.
I went to London, and when I went there, he wasn't there. But if I go back, I'm gonna go to London again, and hopefully I get to meet him, and I'll bring him these same questions.
Would you consider him like an educated, knowledgeable person in this field?
Not really, but as far as Islam, he's I guess you guys put him as your best debater. So
Yeah. I would like to see you have a chat with him, a discussion.
I would love to myself, man. I would love to chat with him myself.
I feel like he might be able to answer you these questions that we're not able to answer.
Maybe, but let's continue with us, okay? So far, we're being honest. Yes. When we match everything up, the questions, the logical conclusions that we have,
yes,
then it's pretty reasonable to say that the Injil is the New Testament. And there's no real reason, there's no logical, no foundation on why you can reject that. Right?
My logical rejection to the Bible is the New Testament is the New Testament itself, just by reading it. I mean, it's preaching the doctrine of the Trinity.
No worries, but that's not telling me that it's not the Injil, man. That's not telling me that it's not the Injil. This would just mean that the Injil taught the Trinity.
Okay, so maybe the Injil taught the Trinity. So what you're saying is then the Quran was revealed to Muhammad, somehow rejecting Trinity, and then also confirms it. That's your idea. That's your logic.
And now you have just hit the button on what we call the Islamic dilemma. Exactly. The Quran confirms a book that it contradicts. That's what makes that's one of the reasons that makes Islam false. Yes.
I have a question. Does the Quran confirm the entire book or segments of the book?
It confirms the entire book. As a matter of fact, it says about people who try to pick and choose, who say some parts are good while the others are corrupted. It says this in 285. It says, do you believe in part of the book but reject the rest? The punishment for those is disgrace in this life and a severe torment in the hereafter. That's what the Quran says about people who try to pick and choose what's good in the book and what's not. The Quran hates that.
What if it's speaking metaphorically?
Oh, come on, dog.
Come on, man. Okay. To the best of my understanding, the Quran does not confirm the New Testament. It confirms to Muhammad that in fact some of the Injil does remain within their books, but through time it was corrupted. So now I'm giving you the final revelation, so you can go confirm the truth that remains with them and reject the falsehood, and use this revelation as a supreme authority.
So okay, that's the next argument. No worries. However, this still doesn't deal with the first issue on what the Injil is essentially. So all this would mean is that the New Testament is the Injil, but just a corrupted version. Is that right?
The New Testament is the Injil, but a corrupted version. Okay, since it came down from the same lineage of Jesus and his disciples, and the followers came, and perhaps the disciples wrote down the real Injil, and through time it was corrupted, and the Roman empires had an influence on it, and then obviously new doctrines were introduced. So perhaps I'll agree to this point, and if I am incorrect, I hope my community can correct me. Yeah.
No worries.
We'll look beyond that far.
No worries. So this is where we're at with our honest Muslim friend on what is the Injil, guys. He's willing to acknowledge, at least for now, right, with his level of knowledge and what we went through and his intellectual consistency, that the New Testament is the Injil, but it's just corrupted. Okay.
Corrupted, yeah.
All right. So I can work with this. I can actually work with this. Now we're moving to phase 2. Is it corrupted? Let me grant you that it is. Let's say that the Quran, let's say that the Injil is corrupted, even though the Quran confirms the Injil. But you're saying no, it doesn't confirm the corrupted one, or it affirms the one prior. Okay.
Doesn't the Quran confirm the parts of it that's true? Isn't that what the surah says, Surah 5?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't say that. There's nowhere in the Quran ever where it says it confirms part of the Injil, but not other parts. It never says that. It doesn't say that in chapter 5, verse 48, where you're thinking about supreme authority. It doesn't even say supreme authority in the Arabic. It's Muhaimin, which is guardian. It's a guardian of the scriptures. It never says that it confirms some of it. It always says it confirms the Injil, the Torah, period. It confirms what's with them, not some of what's with them. It confirms what is with them in their hands.
So you're telling me the Quran confirms the Trinity?
I'm saying, this is what I'm saying. Yes and no at the same time. It confirms the Injil that teaches the Trinity, but also elsewhere rejects the Trinity. So it confirms a book that it contradicts. That's the point. It says that the Injil is true.
That sounds very easy to me, and that doesn't. If something is too true to be, something is too true. If something is too easy to believe, that perhaps it's not as simple as that.
Man, if something is too easy to believe, then maybe it's just not really. Maybe it's really not it, huh? Isn't that what people tell us about Islam? That Islam is so simple. Tawheed is so simple that you can explain it to a child. Isn't that the leading sales pitch for Islam?
Come on, you have to be honest. Tawheed is a lot more simple to understand than Trinity. One God.
But you just went against something being simple. And like you're saying, if something is so simple that it's easy to understand, it's this simple, then there's reason to be skeptical about it. That's what you just said.
But when I see 1,400 years of scholarly knowledge passing by from the time of Muhammad to me, and something as simple as this was not noticed, to me that sounds too simple to believe. Perhaps I'm not presenting the arguments in the best possible form, which is why I'm suggesting to you see better speakers.
I hear what you're saying, but it seems to me that your convictions are conflicting. And like in one way, you're skeptical of a simple argument, an argument that's so simple and easy to get. You get it, and you're like, that's a little too easy. Like there's something got to be wrong with that because it's too easy. However, when it comes to Tawheed, it's very easy and simple, as you say, and you're perfectly fine with that. Not skeptical at all. Matter of fact, you praise it for its simplicity.
Yeah. Perhaps it's the belief, it's the comfort, it's the peace it has offered me.
How does that make sense? But do you hear that? I know, because you've been smart this whole time. That's, you know what? Matter of fact, you earned the name Pastor Logic. Because you've been logical so far. Do you see how that's inconsistent? How you're cool with one thing being simple and easy, but you're skeptical about another thing being simple and easy. You see how that don't make sense?
Okay, that is conflicting, but isn't that part of life? Sometimes things seem easy, and you're meant to take them, but sometimes if they seem too easy that they raise suspicion in you, then you must question it, isn't it?
No, I think that you should question everything, whether it's simple or complex. You should be consistent.
That's why I'm trying to learn this stuff right now. I'm trying to question everything.
Okay,
Also, I have a
good.
question.
Wait. We're at a very, very important part because I think you're
Alright,
getting it.
Can
I
I
think
ask you
you're
a
getting
question later after this?
it. And what?
Can I ask you a question about the New Testament after this?
Not just we're on a point right now. I want you to
Okay,
focus on the point that we're on. Okay, we're on the point where you're getting the argument, and you see how easy the argument is. Now, just because it's simple doesn't mean that it's wrong or flawed. As a matter of fact, it's perfectly logical.
Perhaps it does. Just because it's easy doesn't mean it's wrong, but it also doesn't mean it's true. That's another thing I have to consider.
Well, we just got to look at the evidence. That's all. And this is the point. The argument is so simple and easy, anybody can use it, and it's airtight. It's irrefutable. That's why it's so easy, because it's backed with evidence. That's the whole point.
You're telling me the only way to refute it is to reject it and close my ears.
Well, that's not refuting it. There's no escape. I'll tell you the escape. The only escape from this argument is to throw away the Quran and say, you know what? That's it. I can't because it's logic. This logically follows, and so I can't believe that. It's false based on the logic and the evidence. That's the only way out.
What if the holistic message compels you over the other messages?
It can't. That doesn't mean anything. What for example, Mormonism, Jehovah's Witnesses, Satanists, all these people that are in these religions and ideologies, these messages they feel conform to them and compel them, right? That doesn't make it true. People can be comfortable in a lie. Just because you're comfortable or feel good doesn't mean it's true. Get out of there. If it's a lie, I don't want to be comfortable. If the truth is uncomfortable, I want to be uncomfortable for the rest of my life.
What if you're deficient in knowledge? What if you think it's so easy, and you're just lying to yourself if you deny it? But what if you just don't know what you're talking about? What if the people who are not more knowledgeable than you can present this idea in a better way?
Then study. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
Just study.
That is my plan. I'm trying to study more.
So what I'm saying is that after understanding what the argument is, go back, study, look at what people say. What are some answers and some objections, and be honest about their answers and objections and see if it holds. If it doesn't, then remove them. If it does, bring it back to me and we'll go over it.
Okay, I believe I want to see it. All right. Do you want to move on from this? Or?
Do you understand the argument? The argument is that the Quran confirms the Injil, yet contradicts the Injil at the same time.
No, okay. But remember earlier we agreed that the New Testament could possibly be the Injil, not the Injil. So the Quran,
we agreed that the New Testament is the Injil, but you're just saying it's corrupted.
I cannot remember agreeing that the New Testament is the Injil.
Oh man, don't make me play it back. I'll pull the live up when I asked you that, and you said, "Okay, you know what? Yeah, we can say that." Yeah,
I remember agreeing with you. Possibly, since the Quran does not confirm the content of the Injil and the style it was written in it, and whether or not it was biographical, then we agreed upon that perhaps, possibly, the Injil could be the New Testament, but a corrupted version.
Okay, so if it's a corrupted version, and you're saying this because you're coming from Islam, then that would mean that the Quran is saying that a corrupted book is true.
But here's the part where we disagree on. I don't think the Quran confirms. Wait, so could you tell me the ayah or the verse where it says where the Quran actually confirms the entire gospel in its entirety?
Well, that's everywhere. Whenever it talks about confirming the scriptures, it's always talking about the scriptures as a whole. It never talks about it in part, ever. It never says it's confirming part of it. If you want to take a look at it, I'll show you a few. Okay, when we look at a few verses, let's do this. I'm gonna look at a few verses. We're going to do 241. We're going to do, oh, I already had these verses for me. If we just stay in chapter 2 alone, bro, this is what it says.
Obtain the code of law and life and light will heal.
You read in verses?
Which verse?
All right, look, I got some stuff on the screen. You ready?
All right, what chapter is that?
So this is chapter 2, Surah Baqarah. All of these are coming from chapter 2.
All right, which verse?
Okay. Starting, it's on the screen, bro. 41.
I'm not sure what translation you're using. I use a different translation. So
no worries. No worries. It'll say the same. It better say the same thing, or I'm gonna refute the translator.
What translation is that?
Well, this is just Halali Khan, and it's a solid one, for the most part. But it doesn't matter. You ready to get into it?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. So, chapter 2, verse 41, it says, "And believe in what I have sent down, confirming that which is with you." All right. Now, I'm gonna skip the brackets, but even the brackets, they say it's the Torah and the gospel, right? But skipping the brackets, "And be not the first to disbelieve therein, and buy not with my verses a small price, getting a small gain, and fear me alone." Okay. So, firstly, it says that he sent down the Quran, confirming the scriptures that's with them already. So, in Muhammad's time, in the 7th century, the Quran is saying that the scriptures that's with the Jews and Christians are good. They're true. It confirms them. Not some of them. It says what is with you. The word in Arabic is baina yadehi, that which is in your hands.
In your hands, okay, yeah, I know that, yeah. So I agree with you that the Quran confirms at the time of the Prophet that the Gospel and the Torah was with them.
Yep, and true. Not just that it was with them, it's confirming it. It's saying when you confirm something, it means you verify. It means it's true.
It is there. So it's here, there, it's here, it's with you, it's true. Now,
yes,
is the contention? So you're saying the gospel is there in the Torah. Is the contention, or is the problem not? Okay, then if the Quran confirms the gospel,
and
the Injil is with the people, but the Quran differs on the message of the Injil. Sorry, the gospel.
Then that means that the Quran is false.
There's two logical conclusions I can make. Either the Quran is confirming the fact that the people of the book at those times had the Injil and Torah with them, but not the complete version, and it might have contained corruptions.
You can't say that.
I'm drawing the conclusion. You're gonna like the second one. Either.
Yeah, the first one is impossible.
Okay, no, but we'll get to that process first. Either the gospel and Torah is with the people of the book, and that it contains corruption, and hence why this revelation is being given to you, so you can confirm what is true and what is not. Or the second conclusion, which is the one you are posing, is the fact that the Quran is confirming the present Injil and the Torah, and therefore, since the Quran differs on the content of the Injil and Torah, and particularly not agreeing with the message of the Injil, then the Quran is contradicting itself. Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
Okay, then yeah. I agree with you that is the two logical conclusions I've made. But I can't confirm both of them today.
The first one is the first one is not a logical conclusion. It's not logical at all. One, why? Because it doesn't say that. It doesn't say that. Nowhere. See, notice how with my position, all I can do is just read the verses and it says exactly what my position is. But with you got to add stuff to the verses. It doesn't say that it's confirming some of the Torah and some of the gospel and choosing what parts are in there are true and what parts are false. It never says that in the Quran. If you had a verse that said that, then you would have you got a point.
Okay.
But there's not a single reference that says that, bro.
Okay. Here's where I am drawing from that. Do we take every verse literally, word by word?
As long as it's literal, you have to, absolutely.
How do I make sure this verse is literal?
The context. Look, the context is telling them that they need to believe in the Quran, right? Believe in what I have sent down. Talking about the Quran. Why? Confirming that which is with you. So they need to believe in the Quran. That's not metaphoric. And the Quran is now giving a reason why they need to believe it, because it lines up with what they have. So they don't have an excuse. They don't have an excuse to reject the Quran because the Quran is saying it lines up with what they have.
Okay, I might have thought of a new idea now. Then if the Quran is saying what you have is true and it is from me, and because it's from me, you have to take this new revelation. Then here's the problem now. What if the Injil among the Arabs at the time it's not the Injil present with you today?
There's a good. Now that is a good question. What if the Injil at this present time is not the one that I have today? Well, fortunately, we actually have the answer to that, Pastor Logic. We have the manuscripts that date even before Muhammad's time. That's what we have. Codex Vaticanus, all those codexes, the manuscripts. We have manuscripts that date prior to Muhammad's time. So that what the Jews had, that what the Jews and Christians had in Muhammad's time, we have that and before that.
So the people, the books they had, there are books that predate them that contain the message that are in the present day Bibles.
That's right.
Do we have any Arabic Bibles?
Yeah,
aligns.
Yeah, we got Arabic Bibles. Mm-hmm.
Dated to the 7th century.
We got Arabic Bibles. We got Aramaic Bibles, Latin Bibles.
What's our earliest Arabic Bible?
Say that again.
What's our earliest Arabic Bible?
I don't know. I don't have that on top of my head.
Okay, I'm gonna check on that. Yeah.
Yep.
But
here's something interesting, dude. Here's something interesting. We have what is called the Garima manuscripts. The Garima manuscripts. And so the Garima manuscripts are manuscripts of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, the New Testament, that were in Ethiopia, that the church in Ethiopia was using. Now, why is this relevant? Who was it that Muhammad and the Muslims went to for coverage, for safety?
It was a king of Ethiopia at the time.
That's right. They went to Ethiopia. They even visited the churches and talked about how beautiful their church was and stuff like that. These Garima manuscripts date between, I think it's the 4th to the 5th century. The 4th to the 5th century. So they're a few hundred years before even Muhammad's time. And these are the manuscripts. These are the texts that the Ethiopians had in their possession, even when Muhammad went and visited them, called them believers and recognized that they had the Injil and they were people of the book.
The book, okay, fair enough. Yeah. People of the book, I'm familiar with that language. Yeah. Wait, I heard that king actually converted to Islam at the end.
Well, he did. Well, it's not that he converted, but he recognized Muhammad as a prophet because of what they told him. They asked him. He asked, "What do you guys say about Jesus and Mary?" And they said, "Well, we believe what the Quran says. You know what Allah says in His Quran. He's a messenger. He's the Messiah. He was born of a virgin. You know, and that's what they say, right?" And he's like, yes, this is no different than what we have in the Injil. They literally call it the Injil.
The king, despite believing in the Injil, affirmed Muhammad as a prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Because what he only knew what they told him about Muhammad. He didn't know everything. He only knew what they told him. So they told him that Muhammad says about Jesus that he's the Messiah and that he was born of a virgin. That's what he didn't. They didn't mention the disagreements that he wasn't crucified, that he's not God. They didn't mention that stuff. They only mentioned what the king agrees with. So of course he's going to think, oh, then yeah, Muhammad, he's good.
Does your scripture, the New Testament, does it foretell a prophet to come after Muhammad, after Jesus?
No.
So what you're saying, he was ignorant of that.
Correct.
He was ignorant. Okay.
He didn't know about. He was tricked. He was deceived by the companions of Muhammad. He didn't know.
I don't know about deceived. Anyways,
I would say.
Okay, and wait, you mentioned Jesus being the Messiah, and I saw you had disagreements with Sheikh Uthman about the Messiah.
Yeah,
what is your problem with the Islamic concept of Messiah?
Before, that's a different point. We can talk about that on another day. And as you can see, you're more than welcome to keep coming. Right? It's probably like your third time here, probably second, third. You can keep coming as much as you want. You're one of my favorites. Okay, so yeah, we could talk about that next time. But I want to solidify this. So the gospel, what we have, right, is what the Jews and the Christians had in Muhammad's time, and we even have what existed before them. So that shows that Muhammad or the Quran is talking about what I have, and it says it's true. That's the argument.
Okay.
So now here's the dilemma. Because the Quran says that my book is true, then that would mean that the Quran is false because it contradicts my book. Right? Obviously. Jesus is not the Son of God. Jesus wasn't crucified. Trinity is false. Right?
Yeah.
So, and God is not a father. So
Yeah.
the Quran contradicts a book that it says it's true. That means that it's false. Now, let's say that it's just corrupted. Then that means the Quran is still false. Why? Because the Quran would be saying that a corrupted book is true, which is obviously false. So the Quran is false. So either way you go, if the Bible is true, the Quran is false. If the Bible is corrupted, the Quran is false.
There's no way of the Quran being true in any of these conclusions.
In any of these situations. This is why it's called the Islamic dilemma.
Wait, beyond the speakers you've spoken to, I don't consider them scholars, but do the scholars, have you seen any scholars, like higher up Christian scholars, debating with Muslim higher up scholars about this issue?
Yeah. If you mean like high-end debaters, they just had one. Sam Shimon just debated Dr. Khalil Andani on this issue, on the Islamic dilemma. They had a whole debate a few days ago.
You consider Sam Shimon a scholar?
Sam Shimon is the best debater, Christian debater when it comes to this topic. He's the best.
Okay. I didn't know that one. Okay.
He's the absolute best. He'll be able to show you way more than what I'm showing you, you know. But you know, but yeah. So this is what it is. So they debated, and the doctor, he's a Muslim, but he's a Shia Muslim. I think I don't know if he's Ismaili. I'm not exactly sure. I don't want to misrepresent him, but he's a Shia Muslim, and but he's a solid debater. He's a smart guy. I have to admit, he's a solid debater and a smart guy. On this topic, bro, he got stuck. He couldn't give good answers. You know, nothing that solved the issue. Just more questions.
More questions.
So, yeah.
Okay, I think I'm gonna take this with me. You provided some valid arguments. I'm not gonna dismiss them. Something to think about, which is why you told me study. Yes, I'm gonna study, and then obviously, I believe in truth. I'm gonna be honest with myself. I'm gonna see all the evidence, and then I'll take whatever I take to be the truth. I'm not gonna lie to myself.